Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. And welcome to Monday's edition of the dceu Daily. So, with all this talk about Superman, won't he get a movie? Will Henry Cavill sign or not sign an extension to his contract? Will Henry's Superman be in Shazam? All these questions. Warner Brothers being accused of not knowing what to do with Superman. And because there's not much news within the DCEU, I think we should have a Superman discussion. Everyone seems to think they know what should be done with Superman in a Superman movie. You do, I do, everyone does. And this is the thing, isn't it? He's such an iconic character. Some people think he should be handled the way Richard Donner did in a Superman movie, right? Some people think the way Zack and David S. Goyer and Christopher Nolan handled him in Man of Steel is the right way. Some people believe the way Chris Terrio and David S. Goyer dealt with him in Batman v Superman is the right way. Is there a right way and is there a wrong way? Superman actually has never been represented in live action the way Siegel and Schuster writ him in the very first Action Comics, because in the very first Action Comics, he was a social justice warrior. He was beating up mine owners who, mistreated their employees. He was dealing with men beating up their wives and things like that. And in fact, I think that's the best version of Superman, because he wasn't going after aliens and saving the world. He was dealing with domestic issues. What I think would be awesome in a Superman movie, him starting off with domestic issues and then a bigger threat comes, that would be kind of awesome. I personally don't think there's a right or wrong way of handling Superman, but because everyone has a different opinion about how a Superman film should be and how he should be represented. There's some people who say he's too powerful, that he needs to be powered down. There's some people who say he's too nice, he's too boring. I don't agree with that, but there's many different ways where you can tweak his personality to make him interesting. But let me disperse a few myths on what's going on right now. He's not haggling over a contract. Warner Brothers are not sitting there wondering what to do with him. These are just lies, and people responding to these lies constantly on social media don't help. But there's people that actually believe everything these bloggers and pundits say. And this is the disappointing thing for me, that we're doing down Superman, we're doing down Henry Cavill because we're believing rumours. What do I believe? I believe Walter Hamada has a plan for Superman. I think he has a plan to make multiple films within Superman's universe, not just about Superman, but other characters within Superman's universe. It's worked for him within the Conjuring franchise, in his horror franchise, and he's going to do the same thing. We've already seen that they're developing a Trench movie from the Aquaman universe. This is what he's going to do with everything, because Warner Brothers' plan and Walter's plan will be to have 5, 6, 7 DC themed movies a year eventually, and this is how they can do it. There's a plan in place. You may not believe there's a plan. You may not believe Warner Brothers know what to do with Superman because you believe everything you're told. But that's down to you. What you believe isn't necessarily the truth. And that's what I believe. I believe there's a plan. I believe there will be announcements eventually. But we all have to be patient. I think the problem is with us DCEU fans, we're just not patient. And once we've decided something, that's it. Whether you love the Man of Steel representation of Superman, whether you love Dick Donner's representation of Superman, or the BVS representation of Superman, they obviously have a decision to make what to do with Superman. Now, I believe he will be cleaner. I believe he will be lighter. I think he will be funnier. There's no question about that. Again, that's up to your perception of who and what Superman is to decide if that's the right way to go. They're a studio. They want to please as many people as they can, so they can fundamentally gross the kind of money that Superman really never has. I mean, really, Superman the movie made great money for that time, But really, a Superman movie has never grossed $1 billion globally. So that's an ambition, I'm sure, for Warner Brothers to make something so popular, so big that everyone comes in for it. Because for me, I mean, he is my favourite character. He is my favourite superhero. He continues to be. He's amazing. He has everything to succeed. And I know the haters will tell you opposite things to that, but he really is important. And he's important to Warner Brothers. Now, whether you believe that or not, it doesn't make it untrue. My statements are on fact. I'm talking to people from Warner Brothers, from talking to people, lower level Warner Brothers, of course. Warner Brothers do have a plan for Superman. And, we may have to wait 2.5 years for the next Superman movie, but it's going to be greenlit. It's going to happen. So whether you go on Twitter or you don't and say that Warner Brothers don't have a plan for Superman, that Warner Brothers are resting Superman, that couldn't be further than the truth. That's a joke. To think that Warner Brothers would rest a character that could make them so much money is a joke. But they have to get it right. They have to do something that appeals to the many, not for the few. They've done that. Now, is Henry Cavill the future for Superman? I think, again, we are going to have multiple Supermans in this universe. I think we're going to have multiple Batmans in this universe because guess what? There are multiple Supermans and multiple Batmans in the comics. It's been done so many times. So I think you're going to get different Superman stories. And I think probably you'll get a few, maybe at least another actor cast as Superman. Maybe Michael B. Jordan as an Elseworld multiverse version of Superman. I think Henry will continue to be the shared universe's Superman. I don't see a problem with that. Obviously, there were issues with Injustice League, but I think people will have to move on from the calamity that was Justice League. Eventually, we can't keep on tracking backwards. Eventually, when this announcement is made and we know their plans for Superman's universe, we're going to have to move along with that or walk away. Because quite frankly, if I believed you people that there were no plans for Superman, I would boycott the dceu because Superman's my character. It would be absolutely insane that Warner Brothers weren't developing a Superman movie or Superman cameos. So I don't believe that. I also noticed the other day when I was talking about Cavill and a possible Shazam cameo, someone made a great comment, and I forgot who it was, and said probably the kind of, in the test screening where you just see a body double with the S-Shield, that's just something they've put in place to put Cavill in the film, because maybe that's something they didn't want to reveal. That's what I'm hoping. And this is the problem. This is why I reveal nothing from the test screenings I've ever been to, because first of all, it's wrong. You sign an agreement. You should honour that agreement. Second of all, you don't know what's going to change before that test screening becomes a theatrical cut. That isn't going to be the film you see. Yes, there's elements there, but they can change it. They can change Shazam. They've got 2 months till Shazam. You really think they were really going to give you a Cavill cameo so you could come out and start spelling about it? Of course not. And if there is a Cavill cameo, you're not going to see it in the trailer. This is the biggest thing. Walter Hamada is a very intelligent individual. He's a genius, and he's making the right decisions. I know some of those decisions, which I'm not going to talk about, but I think you guys and girls would be very, very excited about those things. And I think the more I see this nonsense about, Superman's being rested, Warner Brothers don't know what to do with Superman, it's utter nonsense. And the more I see it, the more frustrated I become with some of you guys, because you are not seeing from a truthful hymn sheet. Superman is coming. Superman is amazing. Superman was the one to get the very first film. You tell me Warner Brothers don't believe in Superman when he got the first ever dceu film. Now some of you people are saying, because of what happened in Justice League, Warner Brothers don't want to deal with Superman. It's too difficult. Utter nonsense. The truth is, none of you bloggers talking about this Superman situation, especially you, Grace Randall, know anything of what you're talking about. you would just do or say anything because Superman and the DCEU gets you loads of views. Now, I don't want to sing my own song, but if I was you guys, I'd be looking to me a lot more, because what's happened to YouTube is become very sensationalist. People with millions of subscribers, 20k subscribers, don't give a shit. You see, once upon a time, when they had 500, 600 subscribers like I do now, they gave a shit because they were only doing this because of the love of the characters, the love of film, the love of talking with their fellow fans. But when they become successful, it becomes about marketing and business. My videos don't have to be marketable. They just have to be me and my personality. So you don't have to believe me. You don't have to subscribe to me. But at least I'm a genuine Superman fan. At least I believe in the character. At least I'm not trying to do the character down. At least I'm not using the character for YouTube subscribers or views. I care about this subject, and it really offends me to my core that people are lying that Warner Brothers don't want to deal with Superman, are resting Superman, or don't know what to do with Superman. That, my friends, couldn't be further from the truth.